We as appraisers do not and should not be tied to one basket.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast, helping appraisers increase their efficiency, quality, and make more money. Here's the guy who makes it his life's mission to create value for real estate appraisers nationwide. Your host and the Appraiser Coach, Dustin Harris.
Welcome one, welcome all to this special edition of the Appraiser Coach Podcast. My name is Dustin Harris. I am the Appraiser Coach. I appreciate you joining me today as we talk about COVID-19, coronavirus, the pandemic, and its effect on appraisers. I'm reporting to you today from my back deck. Maybe you can hear the birds singing in the background. My wife is taking this social distancing thing to the max. I'll be glad when that's over and I can come in the house. Actually, she does let me in the house every once in a while to use the half bath. So I'm grateful for that. But we just want to make sure we keep our distance. Hope you guys are being safe as well. I want to pause here and remind you that we are sponsored by three great companies. Of course, A La Mode helping you to do more with less. What do I mean by that? That means for less money, you get more value. That's because A La Mode is all about promoting effectiveness with appraisers. Check them out. Go to alamode.com or 800 A La Mode. We are sponsored by DataMaster, helping you to do appraisals faster, saving you 30 to 60 minutes per report. That's datamasterusa.com, datamasterusa.com. Finally, we are sponsored by OREP Insurance. OREP, of course, is the E&O that I use because they've got my back. And they have yours as well. Check them out. Go to orep.org. That's OREP.org. All right, folks, I want to talk about some things today. First of all, we're not going to get into conspiracies. We are certainly not going to get into whether or not we're overreacting. I've seen the same stuff on social media that you've seen, okay? I'm just going to leave all of that to the more educated, more enlightened than myself. What I want to talk today about is reality. I want to talk to you about the reality of a real estate appraiser in the current environment and what that means to us moving forward. Today, I want to talk a little bit about our health. Okay, probably the most important thing that we can talk about right now is staying safe and keeping our families safe. I want to talk about our businesses. What does this mean to the real estate appraisal business owner? I want to talk about our liability, specifically with our reports, with our reporting, with our appraisal process. What can we do to cover ourselves and be careful when it comes to liability? And finally, I want to talk about the economy on a grand level. What does this mean for the United States, for the world economy, specifically for the real estate economy? What can we expect? Okay. All right, folks, thank you for joining me for this special edition. I typically record these, weeks in advance. I can tell you that this recording is happening at 4:26 p.m. on Friday, March 20th, and it should post by Sunday, March 22nd. Okay. And the reason I give you the date and even, yes, the time that this was recorded is I think all of us are very aware that things can change, not just daily, but hourly right now. And by the time this posts, even a day and a half after it was recorded, some of the things that I may say here might be a little outdated. And if you're listening to this even days after it was posted, I can almost promise you that things will be outdated. However, there will be some principles that we are going to talk about today that I think apply, I don't care what the environment, okay? We're going to be talking about some things today that I think will be simply good advice, simply good practices, no matter what world we live in, but especially as we find ourselves in this current situation, the pandemic, if you will, of 2020. All right, folks, let's talk first about your health, okay? This is the most absolute important thing that you can do, and that is take care of yourself and take care of your family. Let's just be honest here for a second. Appraisers are old. Many of us fit into the high risk category when it comes to appraisers. I think that the average appraiser is 60 plus, okay? Let's just state it the way it is. That is the high risk category, okay? And of those individuals who have serious health issues, it is typically the elderly, if you will, or the more experienced in life, let's be politically correct about it, that are having the biggest challenge. So folks, my friends, my appraisers, my wonderful, wonderful friends, would you please take my advice and take care of yourself and your family first. I don't care the appraisal fee. I don't even care about your appraisal business. This is a big thing for the appraiser coach to say, right? I'm all about helping appraisers to be better. I'm all about helping appraisers to have a more successful business. But even if it means that you've got to shutter your appraisal business and walk away from it, it is not worth risking your health. Now, I'm certainly not saying to do that. But what I'm saying is no appraisal fee is worth the risk. And the most important thing that I can say on here today is that if you have concerns about going out and doing inspections in today's environment, please don't risk it. It's not worth it. It's not worth the fees. Well, Dustin, what about multiple fees? It's not worth your appraisal business. Let me repeat that. No fee, no appraisal business is worth risking your health. So please be careful. Okay. Now, that being said, I think that there are certain things that we can do and simply be prudent. Okay, I am not, as you know, you've listened to me for years, right? We're in the 500th plus episode of the Appraiser Coach podcast. You know me at this point. You know I'm not a fearmonger. You know I don't let fear dictate what I do with my business, okay? But I'm also prudent. I'm a realist, and I'm going to heed the counsel of my government officials and those experts, the doctors and more, who say, you know what, let's slow the progress of the coronavirus. Let's do our part, appraisers, to help to do that. Okay? If you need to take a break from appraisal, do it. Now, a little later in the program, we're going to talk about some of you who are not choosing to take a break, but have to anyway because of the current environment. And what do we do if we're in that situation? But if you need to choose, maybe you're not in one of those states or municipalities that have been, quote, locked down. But if you need to choose to take a break right now, it's okay. Do it. Remember, your health, your well-being, and that of your family is most important. It's more important than anything else. Okay. Now, if you choose to appraise during this time, let me just suggest that there's some precautions that you can take. Okay. Now, I'm very up on the advice that's being given on social media, on regular media, what the doctors, what the experts are saying. Okay. I know what they say when it comes to masks. Okay. And I know that we need to save those masks for those that are at the high risk, the healthcare workers. Okay. I happen to have a few masks. I've had them for years and years and years. I'm wearing a mask to my inspections. I'm wearing gloves, and where I can, I'm wearing booties. Okay, I'm not shaking hands, right? I know some appraisers are actually having the homeowners leave the house. I'm not to that extent. I think it's more comfortable for most people to be in the house when a stranger is walking through their home. I get that. But I have no problem with you making that business decision either and making the request that maybe they leave the house while you're there. Now, I will tell you this. My understanding of the virus is having someone in the house versus not having someone in the house versus the surfaces that can keep that virus for hours, if not days, okay, is probably not going to make a whole lot of difference. That's just my opinion. I'm not an expert. Okay, I should have started the episode today by indicating that I'm not an expert. I'm not a medical official. You can get plenty of information right now on any news channel you want to turn on with regard to the virus and staying healthy. But folks, when it comes to appraising, when it comes to being in strangers' homes, please take care. This phrase, the new buzz phrase of 2020, quote unquote, social distancing, okay, we need to make sure that we heed that and that we're careful. Lots of hand cleaner, okay, for those of you who can find it. It's important to keep yourself safe, okay? I'm taking my temperature daily. Every morning, I take my temperature just to know where I'm at. I don't want to go into someone's home if my temperature is starting to rise a little bit, okay? So please be careful. I do know that my colleague, the other appraiser that I work with, is actually taking a shower before he hugs his kids after being out doing inspections. So he'll go out all day long. He'll do inspections. He will not say hi to his family before he takes a shower and puts his clothes in the laundry. Okay. That's one of the precautions he's taking. Overkill? I don't know, folks. I really don't know. Again, I'm not one that's going to live my life on fear, but I'm certainly going to be careful. And I'm certainly going to do my part to help slow the spread of the COVID-19 virus. And I hope that all of us as appraisers can come together. Let me share with you just anecdotally a story. This morning, I went out and I did some shopping for my parents who, speaking of elderly, they're up there. They're in their 70s, right? We have not visited them purposely in the last couple of weeks. Now, we're staying in contact with them through social media and through text and that kind of a thing. But I went out to get some food for them, some things that they need. And I went to a store. And folks, I have never seen a more cordial and courtesy-filled store than I did this morning. It was wonderful. People were nice. They were smiling. They were being careful. We weren't shaking hands and kissing each other on the cheeks. But they were very kind and people were respectful. And there were signs up saying, please just take 1 gallon of milk. Please just take 1 thing of butter. And people were respecting that. And it was awesome. And then I got back and I messaged one of my employees and she said that she had just gotten back from Walmart. And she told me stories that made my toes curl. of rudeness and individuals just not being kind to one another and complaining because there wasn't any toilet paper. Come on, folks, we're better than this. Really. And as appraisers, I think as professionals, we need to set the standard, okay? Let's be kind. Let's be loving. Let's be giving. Let's share. Let's look for opportunities to serve one another. Okay, let's talk about our businesses for just a second and just share some things. Now, I want to start, and I'm going to end the podcast today with the same thing. This is a changing thing, and this is unprecedented. There are many people that say, what's going to happen? What does this mean to our business? What does this mean to the economy? What does this mean? Fill in the blank. And the honest truth, as a coach, as a mentor, as someone giving advice over a microphone, okay, is we don't know. That's the most honest answer anybody can give. We don't know. We don't know what this means. We don't know how long it will last. They could come up with a cure tomorrow. By the time this posts, we could have a cure. I don't know. You don't know. The experts don't know. That being said, okay, there's some talk about some things that are changing. Let's talk about those things for just a moment. First of all, there's some talk about changes in the way that we might inspect properties. Please know, folks, these are temporary measures. I know some of you believe that this is a slippery slope to the new normal, and I've seen the posts out there. Well, you get what you ask for. If you want to start going to drive-bys, you just wait down the road when all of this is passed. That's going to be the new normal. Okay, you know what? That right now, honestly, is the least of my concern. My concern is your health and the health of the point of contacts where we inspect. That's my biggest concern right now. Frankly, moving to more drive-bys and other tech to do inspections doesn't worry me in the least. Many things are changing right now. We're finding new ways of doing a lot of things. I have a feeling that we're going to see after this is all said and done that many people are going to wonder why it is that we rent and buy office space anyway. We've known for years that we have the technology to be able to work from home, but it wasn't until this happened that people actually had to do it and realized that it wasn't that big of a deal. I had one of my AMCs reach out to me today and they said, have you changed the way that you do business with regard to your appraisers and your assistants with this whole thing? And I answered back and said, we've always been mobile. We've always been able to work from home. We don't always choose to do it. So really the only difference is now it's no longer a choice. All of my employees and all of my contractors are working from home. The technology is there. Lots of things are changing, folks. And it's not just with real estate. It's not just with appraisers. It's with every aspect. I have a feeling that the new normal might be a video conference with your doctor. The technology that we're finding out right now, the technology is there and we can do that. Why aren't we using it? Things are changing. Yes. Are there going to be some changes with inspections? Yeah. Absolutely. I've never been of the belief that the inspection is so important that we must personally do it anyway. As long as the information is credible that we gain, no matter how we gain it, USPAP will protect us. USPAP is our friend in this sense. If we find that that data is quote unquote credible, reliable, then we should be able to use it and state where it came from. Now, if you have not already a minute or so ago, please help your employees work from home. You need to work from home. We should not be working in the same space of other people. Is that overkill? Maybe. Again, that's not my concern. I'd rather overkill than not be safe enough. Folks, the technology is there. Use it. For those of you who are in shelter in place or non-essential travel bans, use this time to improve yourself. This is a great time to start doing some education. And it doesn't have to be CE. I know appraisers that only jump on education as long as it gives them credit toward their continuing education credits. Come on, folks. This is an awesome opportunity to improve yourself with education, online webinars. No, they may not give you CE credit, but they will improve you. This is your opportunity to build a niche. This is an opportunity for you to go out and find out what it means to appraise manufactured homes or do relocation appraisals, or how about luxury homes? This is your opportunity to grow in your education because you're home anyway. You might as well take advantage of it. For years, I've been teaching those that I coach and mentor to do on it, not in it time. I call it ONI time, OINII, on it, not in it. Folks, what a great opportunity right now to work on your business. Well, Dustin, I don't know what the future brings. How do I plan ahead? Well, folks, again, there are principles and things that you can do right now to prepare no matter what the market. You don't have to know the future of appraisal to start planning your business and moving forward and becoming better. And most importantly, use this time to enjoy your family. What an awesome opportunity to enjoy your family. It's kind of funny. My wife and I have been homeschooling for years, and now we're not so weird. I want to pause here and remind you that we are sponsored by 3 great companies, none of them being weird. One of them being DataMaster. DataMaster, of course, is the opportunity for me to save 45 minutes per report. That's every single appraisal report. And by the way, we're doing a lot of them right now. Wow, what an awesome opportunity to save time, to save money, and to have higher quality reports because it imports the data directly without human error. Check them out. Go to datamasterusa.com. Again, it's datamasterusa.com. We're sponsored, of course, by OREP Insurance. I switched about 3 or 4 years ago to OREP Insurance, and one of the reasons I switched, not just the benefits that they give me, but the fact that they've got my back. Folks, I see a lot of stuff right now on social media. Well, if they change inspections, will your insurance cover it? If they do hybrids, if they do this, if they do that, will your E&O cover your situation? Well, guess what? Mine does. Because I'm with OREP Insurance. You should be as well. Check them out. Go to orep.org for more information. Again, it's orep.org. Finally, we're sponsored by Alamode. Alamode is the software I've been using for over 2 decades to help me to be more efficient and more effective at what I do. They can help you as well, folks. If you want the most efficient, most effective technology out there, you talk about technology that allows you to do more with less, folks, that's Alamode. Their mobile app alone is absolutely incredible. The opportunity to gather everything on site. I've done several inspections this week where I touched nothing. I had the homeowners open the doors, they turned on the lights, and all I had to do was punch everything into my phone. That's the only thing I touched other than my laser measure. That's what Alamode can help you to do. Check them out. Go to alamode.com. It's ALAMODE.com or 800-ALAMODE. All right, folks, welcome back. Today we're talking about COVID-19, talking about coronavirus. We're talking about the effect on appraisers. This is a special episode of the Appraiser Coach podcast, recorded late on Friday, the 20th of March, and this will post, of course, on Sunday. Thank you for joining me. We've talked a little bit about your health, your safety. We've talked a little bit about your business and what to do with the downtime that some of us are experiencing this time. I want to talk a little bit about liability and the economy, and then we'll close up today. First of all, let's talk a little bit about liability. Folks, if you are changing your scope of work, okay, and some of us are. Some of the big banks, some of the big entities have made a comment with regard to scope of work. Again, this is a changing thing and may change even between the time this is recorded and the time that it's posted. Okay, but please make it very clear. I'm going to capitalize that CLEAR in the report, what you are doing. Make it very, very clear what your scope of work is. That's the thing that is going to protect you. And I know some of you are saying, well, Dustin, have you read the Fannie Mae form? The Fannie Mae form has a certification with regard to inspection that the signer inspected. Folks, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. Maybe I'm going to regret it, but I'm just going to put it out there. I think they're going to understand. Okay? As long as you're not trying to hide anything and you make it very, very clear where that information came from, I don't think the forms that were created long before this pandemic are going to be that big of a deal. Be careful. Make it clear, okay? But I would not be held up by what the Fannie Mae form says right now. I think given the global impact of this situation, I think they'll understand if you make it very clear where that information came from, okay? I'm using this phrase. By the way, I think this was stolen from Appraisal Buzz. I'm not sure, but I think that's where I got it, okay? I'm using this phrase on all of my reports. You ready? And by the way, I might just say, I don't know that this is going to fully protect me, okay? But I think it's important to have something like this in your report right now, simply because markets are changing and we have no idea where this is going to go. This is what I'm putting in each of my reports currently. As of the effective date, the short and long-term impact of the market from the COVID-19 virus is unknown. However, it is reasonable to assume the current restrictions in the market activity due to the virus will extend marketing times at least 60 days beyond the current levels. This assumption has been taken into consideration with regard to the estimate of reasonable exposure time. At this time, the appraiser assumes that there is a delay in market activity, but not a significant long-term shift in demand or supply, which would result in a change in the market prices. These are considered to be extraordinary assumptions which, if proven false, could impact the opinions and conclusions expressed herein. Again, folks, that's not going to be perfect, but it's going to help to cover your liability just a little bit. I would be careful. Okay, I would make sure that it has something to do with your market. Okay, that we're not just copying and pasting, that it's from your perspective, right? Make sure, though, that you are understanding, most of all, that you are the expert and people look to us as the expert in the markets. That means we need to be watching the market very, very closely. Let's just be honest, most of the time as a real estate appraiser, it's very easy to kind of just sit back and let the market do its thing. And every once in a while we dip in and we kind of see where it's going. And yes, with every report, we see if we're rising or falling or staying the same. That being said, more than anything, this is changing things, and we need to be watching daily to see what's happening with our local markets, because folks, people rely on us to know what's going on. And we're not required to be prophets. We're not required to read the tea leaves. Okay. We're simply required to report on what we see, but we can't do that unless we actually see it. Okay. So let's pay attention, please. All right. Let's talk about the economy on a grand scale. Making predictions on the economy is way above my pay grade. Let me just state that. Okay. I'm the appraiser coach. I'm not on CNBC. I'm not on Fox Business. Okay. I only know what I know. This may blow over very quickly. I doubt it, but it may. Okay, we've been experiencing large increases in value for most of the country for years now. We know that historically, real estate markets are cyclical. We may be very well in for a downturn. We may be in for a recession. I've heard the word depression kicked around. Okay, I don't know, but I do know this. We as appraisers do not and should not be tied to one basket. Too many of us are fully in the AMC basket, and it's all about the mortgages, and it's all about interest rates, and it's all about refinances and purchases. Folks, please diversify. Okay, it's time, if you haven't done so already, to start looking at some other sources of income, some non-lender work, some other ways to make a living. Now, I am not making a prediction. I am simply saying, I would say this if it were 6 weeks ago. Okay, this is just common sense. We should not rely upon one basket for all of our eggs. It's just common sense to make sure that we are diversifying and that we have multiple streams of income. Okay. In conclusion, folks, again, this is a changing situation. I want to state that. It happens hourly. This is unprecedented. We've never had a situation like this before. Let's work together. Again, the story I told you about the 2 stores this morning. Okay, same day, same town, totally different. Folks, what do we want to do? What do we want to be? What should we be? Let's work together. That being said, I want to let you know that I am going to be doing a free webinar about this very topic. Now, it's not going to be repeating what I talked about today, okay? And it's not going to be a repeat of the blog post that I put out last Wednesday on this very topic. This is going to be a webinar that's going to talk about, among other things, we'll be talking about how to go paperless, how to set up a server so you can work from home, how to best position your future business given the current situation. I want to talk about my expertise as the appraiser coach is to help appraisers to be more successful as appraiser business owners. And that's what we're going to be talking about this coming Wednesday, March 25th at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Let me repeat that. Free webinar about the COVID-19 effect on appraisers, and specifically how we as appraisers can position ourselves currently and in the future. And that will be on Wednesday, March 25th at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time. You can sign up on my website, theappraisercoach.com. Yes, we are very limited in the chairs that we can have. I'll just tell you, it's 100. I can have 100 people in that webinar. Okay. It will be live. It will be interactive. I will be taking your questions, and it will be free. It is this coming Wednesday, March 25th at 8:30 a.m. Mountain Time. Please sign up on my website, theappraisercoach.com. And by the way, for the time being, I want us to come together as appraisers in a community where we can share information and help each other out. I want to be the store that I went to, not the store that my employee went to. Okay? I want us to work together. And as such, I am waiving All-Star Team sign-up fees for the first month. Okay? For the first month, you will have a free All-Star Team membership for new signups only. Okay. I'm waiving the All-Star Team sign-up fee. Just use the coupon code, forgive me for this, but Covid19. Okay. No hyphen, just Covid19. Use the coupon code in signing up for the All-Star Team right now, and you will get all of the benefits, every one of them, nothing held back, for free for 30 days, because I want to come together as a community and be a place where we can help each other and not hinder each other as real estate appraisers. Thank you, my friends. I love you all. Please stay safe. Please be kind to one another. Please don't work on fear. Let's do this together. We'll get through this. I promise. I'll be there through the whole thing with you. I love you all. Thank you for joining me for this special edition of the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach Podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.